Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for joining me. 22nd of May 2024. It's about 7 a.m. in South Africa. Headlines: USAIN Bolt's world record has just been broken by a 16-year-old kid from Jamaica. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely amazing. Let me just share with you some of this fabulous news. Jamaican team Nikki Coy Bramwell shatters 22-year-old Usain Bolt record in a magnificent display. This kid has wiped a long-standing Usain Bolt record from the history books. Imagine what's going through the kid's mind. Wow. The 16-year-old teen sensation from Jamaica stole the show at the Carifta Games in Grenada when he shattered the under-17 400-meter world record. Now, for us in South Africa, what can we learn from this? When I completed my degree in exercise physiology, one of the research projects that I had was to look at the DNA of different races of people. So we took blood samples, white, black, Indian color, because those are the four main races in South Africa. And what the research showed is that the blacks in Africa have a competitive advantage. There's something special going on in the blood of the black man in Africa. And this DNA gives them a competitive advantage in track and fields and in sports, and especially running. That is why you say some of the best runners, the ones who break world records, are from Africa. You find many of the runners from Kenya, Ethiopia, Somalia. They're thin and they got this they lean muscle and that high altitude, and they can shatter world records or wherever they go in the world. But there's a very important thing behind all this. So we as South Africans need to encourage our youth to also take up running. But there's a very important point. You'll notice many of the people from Africa, they don't break records inside Africa. They break records in other countries. And there's a very important and sad reason for that, is because the African continent is not a wealthy continent. I must clarify. Under the ground, there's massive wealth. Above the ground, there's poverty. Because of poverty, many Africans do not have the opportunity to go for training, to have adequate training, even to have adequate nutrition. To be at the top of the level of the support, you need to eat proper food. Your combination of your carbohydrates, your fats, your proteins, all of that, you need a well-balanced diet. Now, if you're in poverty, how are you going to train? And if a government does not provide facilities for that. So many of these, our brilliant blacks from Africa, then go to Netherlands or to Germany, they get citizenship there, and then they get sponsors, their nutrition is provided, they get the top sports coaches, and they become fabulously wealthy. They break out of the poverty, their cycle of poverty, and they send money to the poor people in Africa. And this is how it happens. But we as Africans, not only as South Africans, but also people on the African continent, our leaders must promote encourage the youth, whether it is for track and field, in swimming, in rugby, in soccer, in ice skating, in archery, in horse riding, in all the Olympic sports. We need to encourage development in all of these sports. Swimming, high dives, and what I like very nice is fabulous is synchronized swimming. You know how amazing those women, those young girls, they do all of this spinning underwater. I don't know how they do it. It takes hours and hours and hours of training to do that. But the government must come together with the private sector. So private sector, together with government, together with sponsors, then we can develop our youth. Because in South Africa, we look at the election, all we got is negativity. Okay, what is going on? We need jobs. There's crime with this. Everything looks like darkness. But we need to focus on sports. Sports releases the endorphins. When you're doing running and training, it releases the endorphins in your brain. You start feeling good. So even a little bit of walking or running up and down your steps, you start feeling good as a human being. So I encourage our youth in this country, especially the black youth. Don't be downhearted with what is going on in the country. Keep on trying and looking for a job. As what I mentioned in my previous video, I'm going to show you how to apply for a CV and how to apply for a job. But in the meanwhile, get yourself physically fit, start training, looking after yourself. And from somewhere, a sponsor may see you and you don't know how your life can change. In the same way that the 16-year-old Jamaican teenager, wow, he broke the record of Usain Bolt. This kid is never going to be the same again. His whole life has been transformed. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Stay well. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.